Hey. Um, I just wanted to share a little something real quick. And the only reason why I'm sharing this is because it's something that has actually crossed my path quite a few times here in the last couple of weeks. And usually when stuff like that happens, I feel like I'm compelled to just share it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'll sit down and I'll start writing, and then I can't stop writing. So I gotta get it out. And here lately, one thing that God has been dealing with me about is how to live an ascending life. And you're gonna see me keep looking down because I had to write everything out so that I won't leave anything out. I looked up the definition ascending, and ascending means rising or increasing to higher levels. Basically, rising up, moving upward, mounting up, leveling up, controlling and conquering. Okay. One of the greatest signs that I've noticed and heard about and read about, one of the greatest signs of an immature believer is that they will be defensive. So anytime we sense defensiveness in ourselves and in others, it's definitely an indication that you're either prideful or immature or both. And that's something that I had to deal with, and I had to work through, and I had to be delivered from. It's because anytime you would say something to me and it appeared that you was trying to be funny or expose me or make me change or something like that, I didn't want to hear anything that you had to say. Um, so I watched this preacher or I read it or something. I can't remember. I heard it somewhere or saw it somewhere. And this person said, we cannot become defensive if we are going to be teachable and taught by the Lord. Defensiveness comes forth of pride. Not being willing to be corrected is defensiveness rooted in pride. Um, just in case you don't know what defensiveness means or you're not sure if you are defensive or have been, defensiveness is that feeling you get when anyone challenges you on something that you that possibly exposes that we may have a blind spot or an area that needs to be fixed, that we didn't see ourselves. And um, that's pride. I mean, come on, that's pride. Uh, and that leads to you having an issue with constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is the process of offering valid and well-reasoned opinions about the work of others, usually involving positive and negative comments or feedback. And it's done in a friendly manner. It's not done in a malicious way or oppositional way, a way that's meant to cause conflict. Um, and like I said, I used to have a problem with it. You know what I mean? And the ways that helped me is I used to try and put myself in that person's shoes. Like, ask myself, like, why did they say that? Were they trying to help me or were they trying to be funny? Like, really trying to rationalize and reason and use wisdom. And another thing is I would just ask questions. Like, instead of wondering and assuming, you know, I would just ask, like, why did you say that? Or why did you feel the need to share that with me or whatever? Because not knowing can be harmful. The unknown is very, very dangerous, especially if you already have an issue with accepting constructive criticism and you're already defensive. Like, you don't want to just be walking around here making up scenarios in your mind, because that will happen. You can create a whole issue that's not even there. Um, and, hold back our she motions and our he motions. Hold back the offenses and really actively listen to what they're saying instead of listening to respond. When you listen to respond, you're simply just waiting for them to stop talking so that you can make a point. And it's not necessarily a good point, it's just a point. You just want to be heard. Like, really actively listen so you can see and find out what is it that they really trying to say to you. Like, what can you really gain from this conversation? And when somebody is giving me criticism, constructive criticism, I have like this acronym that just floats around in my mind, and it's called the AAM. AAM, and it stands for acknowledge, accept, and modify. When you acknowledge something, you have to basically don't take the criticism personally, aka don't look at it as it's an attack, because every constructive criticism is not meant to be an attack. Don't overreact and don't underreact. Like, just accept it for what it is, and then ask yourself, can modifications be made? Letting go can help you care less about who's saying it and look more at why it's being said. You know what I mean? The whole point is there is always going to be criticism and difficult things to deal with in life. Always. But learning to let go in a way where you can not take things to heart, not let it be that deep. I'm not saying don't care. I'm not saying I'm not saying don't care. I'm just saying you don't wear everything on your sleeve. Like, it's an awesome tool to have the ability to just see things for what they are. You hear people say, chew the meat and spit out the bones. In other words, take what's for you and the rest of it, throw it away. Take what's helpful and what's not, throw it away. Just like when you sitting in church and listening to a sermon or whatever, you get your word and get out of there. That's it. Take what's for you and toss the rest. Or take what's for you and leave the rest for who it is for. That's a better way to look at it. I just thought about that. But if you think I'm just ranting, good. Because let me give you some word on it. Proverbs 15:31-32 says, and I'm going to give you a couple of translations. Proverbs 15:31-32 in the New Living Translation says this, and it reads like this. If you listen to constructive criticism, you will be at home among the wise. If you reject discipline, you only harm yourself. But if you listen to correction, you will grow in understanding. And in all that understanding and wisdom. And the Message translation, which a lot of us like, it says, listen to good advice if you want to live well, and honor guests among wise men and women. And discipline, self-willed life is puny. An obedient God-willed life is spacious. That's like limitless. That's like unmerited favor type of situation. But my favorite translation that I found, this particular scripture was found in the TPT, the Passion Translation, which reads like this. Accepting constructive criticism opens your heart to the path of life, making you right at home among the wise. Refusing constructive criticism shows that you have no interest in improving your life, for revelation and insight only comes as you accept correction. And that it brings. Man, that's powerful. I didn't even know that was in the word. I'm not gonna lie to you. And until I start digging a little deeper into this and really seeing like why the stuff like this keep crossing my path, that scripture just popped out, and I'm like, wow, thank you, Lord, because I thought I was just talking just to talk. I'm not gonna lie, but when I saw that scripture, when I read that scripture and I wrote it out, that's actually how my writing started. It started with the scripture, and then I just could not stop writing. And there's other things you can do. You can simply do nothing. You know what I mean? You can just take it. You can just shut your mouth and just take it and assess the situation privately, and really think about the source and who it came from, um, and just don't overreact, and just don't be defensive. You could do that. You could. We can do that. It's self-control. It's grown up. Um, and then you can remember the importance of criticism. It can be an important and positive tool. It helps with every relationship, in ministry, in businesses. Like, any successful businesses have those comment boxes or ask you to complete a survey, because it's basically like a progress report for them to see how they're doing. Like, should they continue to do A, B, C, or D? Should they add something? Should they take something away? Like, as a consumer, how do you view our product? What do we need to improve on? How is our customer service? Like, this is stuff you want to know, because it's all sent or meant to help. Of course, you're going to get those ones who just never happy anyway, but at the end of the day, you get more positive out of it. Like I said before, there's always negative and positive included in constructive criticism. Criticism only is all negative. Like, there's nothing good about it, and it's definitely not meant to help you. But then messing around with the Lord, all things work together for our good. So and then when the person get done giving you their constructive criticism, say thank you. Because at the end of the day, they took the time out to share something that they saw. That whole scripture, when you see your brother and sister taking a fall, you who are spiritual, restore them. I saw that you were struggling in this area. I saw that this could be better for you. So I shared A, B, C, or D. Thank them for doing that. Thank them for their help. Take the negative as well, because there's always a little bit of truth in the negative. Trust me, always. Even the enemy know that. And ask for examples. That's what I do. I ask for examples. Like, is this something that I did just one time? Or is this something that you've noticed often? That way you'll know exactly how to approach it. That way you know how aggressive you need to be in your approaches to fixing it, or making it better. Just ask, hey, how often have you noticed this? How long have you noticed this? It was a certain time in my life where people that I considered to be very close to me and in my little circle, I sat them down and I asked these hard questions. Like, have you noticed something in me that you see that I can improve on, or areas that I can change, or do you feel that there's something I should apologize for? Or, like, where are we at right now? Where do you see me growing in an area, or do you see me stagnant in an area? Do you see my areas of improvement, my opportunities for growth? Like, I literally sat these people down, and it was like no holds barred. It was like, don't sugarcoat nothing. Let's just keep it real. I did a self-evaluation first before I had that conversation with this group of people. And then I asked my peers to evaluate me. And they had no idea that that's what they were going to do. But I have grown, and am still growing so much from that conversation. I wrote stuff out that they said, because I go back and I reflect on it, and I actually try to make a conscious effort of keeping those things in mind that they shared with me, so that I don't continue to keep making those mistakes. And not to say I'm not going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're human. But now I'm conscious of these things, which in the end can only make me a better person. So, again, check that scripture out. Proverbs 15:31 through 32. Matter of fact, read the whole thing. Like, Proverbs is It's off the chain. You can get a lot out of that. That's that, man, that wisdom comes up out of there. But anyway, hopefully this helps somebody. Next time I think we're going to talk about encouragement, ways to encourage yourself, And when you get all this, don't beat yourself up about it. It's all meant to help. So next time we're going to talk about encouraging yourself, because he's been dealing with me about that too. It's definitely something I really love to do, is encourage people. And again, this video is meant to encourage. Okay? It's to put a highlighter on an area so that it can be fixed. So hopefully this helps somebody. It definitely reminded me of a lot, and it's helped me. And like preachers say, it preaches to us first before, we share it. So anyway, thanks for your time. Have a good one. And if you see anything or want to share anything that you think that I need to fix, put it down there in the comments. It's all good. I welcome it all. Thanks. Love you.